Hello, lovely people. Welcome to the Geek Cupboard. I am Penge, and welcome to day 5 of the Geek Cupboard's Fes-tea-ve Advent Countdown 2021. Right, where is little tea pocket number 5? And it is a bit odd not saying, right, where's door number 5? Because, you know, typically Advent calendars have little doors, but we don't have that. We have little tea pockets, which is very nice. So it's not on that first section there. It's right, there it is. Hang on. Let's try and get that on camera. It's quite tricky because, you know, it's all quite big. Right, hang on. Fold that round. There we go. Right, there is number 5 right there. So what have we got? Supreme Matcha Green. I don't really know what matcha is. I assume that's a blend of tea or something that I am unfamiliar with. Oh, crikey, this is proving to be troublesome to get at. Matcha green tea, come out of there. Okay, the bag it's ripped a bit. Oh, right, hang on. Right, slight technical issues. There we go. There we go. It's all fine. So, Supreme Matcha Green, the finest green tea and matcha blended to be supremely smooth. I will admit, I don't know what matcha is. I might need to do a slight spot of Googling to work that out. And it says here is a cup to make you feel supreme. Organic matcha and tea, the purest green. Okay, lovely. Well, there we go. So we're not quite sure what matcha is, but do you know what? There is only one thing that we need to do right now, and that is go to the kettle. And here we are with our lovely freshly brewed cup of supreme matcha green tea, and I did go and have a little bit of a Google as to what matcha was because I wasn't entirely sure, and Wikipedia came up and very handily informed me that matcha is a finely ground powder of specially grown and processed green tea leaves. So essentially this here is finest green tea with ground up green tea leaves with it. I mean, that's a lot of green tea. That's quite a lot of green tea all in one kind of place. But do you know what? That's absolutely fine. And I've learned something today. So there we go. I know what matcha is now. Now, in terms of looking at it, yes, it is a green tea. It's very obviously a green tea. In terms of the smell, it doesn't really smell of anything, although that might be just because I can't smell it at all. However, I don't think green tea really has that strong a smell, does it? If it doesn't have something else in it, you know, if it doesn't have, I don't know, ginger or lemon or whatever in it, then I don't think it smells that strong on its own. But it's all about the tasting, isn't it? So here we go. And that is nice. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice cup of green tea. I mean, it says on the little label thing, it says that I've got over here again, it says that it's, it's supremely smooth. I mean, it's very nice. It's a very nice, lovely cup of green tea. I wouldn't say it's exceptional, but yeah, it's a lovely cup of green tea, and I shall certainly enjoy it to the very end. But there we go. Lovely. So we have a nice cup of tea. Right, let's go over to today's question, which was asked by Anna B. And she's gone for a big one. Anna B has gone for a big, big question. My goodness me. So here we go. In fact, do you know what? She even says asking the big questions in her question. So here we go. Asking the big questions. For a cream tea, would you use jam or cream first? So just a little bit of explanation in case people are slightly unsure of what's going on. So you can go and have a cream tea. And normally when you have a cream tea, you have a scone. I say a scone, some people say a scone. And people might not know what that is in various parts of the world. So it's like a kind of sweet, doughy kind of round thing. Normally, you can have it with, normally it's served with sort of raisins or sultanas or currants, whatever you want to call them in. You can have cheese ones as well, but typically it's sort of raisins and stuff. And they're just like a little sort of round, sort of doughy, I don't know, not like a cake as such, a little sort of round doughy thing. And then what you do is you chop it in half, if you should have it warm really, chop it in half, and then if you're having a cream tea, you then have yourself some jam, or some jelly if you're in America, but yeah, jam, like strawberry jam, raspberry jam, whatever, and then some cream. And we're talking sort of thick cream. We're talking, I mean, it should really be clotted cream, really. But yes, we're talking cream and jam. And then there is some debate, and it often gets a bit heated, about which way round you should do things. So do you put on your sort of chopped open scone, do you put on the cream first, and then put the jam on top of that? Or do you put the jam on first and put the cream on top of that? Now I do it, I believe, the Devon way, because there are two ways of doing this. The Devon way is to put the cream on first, so you have your base, then you have the clotted cream, and then I put the jam on top of that. So I have cream first, then jam. The Cornish way, I believe, is to have the jam first, and then a great big dob of cream in the middle. I'm not a big fan of that. I like to spread the stuff out. So I have my half of scone, and then I put the cream on, the clotted cream. So it's thick, it's sort of spreadable, or it should be. So I spread that over the base of the scone, and then I get the jam, and put that on, and I can spread that. So I've now got like two nice even sort of layers of goodness. So I've got the scone, then I've got the cream, then I've got the jam. Whereas, yeah, if you do it the other way, if you do it the Cornish way, you put the jam on, and then typically you would have a great big dob of the cream in the middle. So a great big blob of it. You wouldn't try and spread that out, because then if you tried to spread it, then you'd squish the jam, and the jam would go off the sides, and it'd be terrible. So yeah, so that's the way round I do it. Now, I know that it's controversial. It is certainly controversial, because a lot of people will be up in arms about this, the fact that I put the cream on first and then the jam. But yeah, that's just the way that I do it. I always have. And it just seems, I find the cream provides a more solid base. The cream is a more solid base. And then you can put jam on top of it. If you put the jam on first and then try and spread clotted cream on top of jam, it doesn't work. The jam just sort of squishes out everywhere and it looks a mess. And I could do it with the great big blob of cream in the middle, but I don't really like it like that, because then you eat around the edge. So you eat around the edge of the scone where there's just jam, and then you get to the middle where there's a huge bit of cream, and I want it kind of spread evenly. So I do it, I believe, the Devon way, which I think is the superior way. But there we go. Look, oh, controversial. Let's fight and talk. But yeah, there we go. That is what I do. I did go and ask Mrs. Penge about this. I said, oh, Mrs. Penge, today's question is interesting. What do you think? Her first answer was, she sort of went, do you know what? My initial thought is, I don't care, because I'm going to eat it. And it does not matter when I'm chewing it, which way round it's gone on. It makes no difference to me when I'm eating the food as to whether the jam is on first or the cream is on first, because I'm going to chew it and mush it up. I was like, yeah, that is a fair point. No, that's very logical. But if you were to sit down, if we went out and they said, right, here you go, here is a lovely sort of cream tea, what would you do? Because you'd have to prepare it somehow. And then, she thought she'd do jam first and then a big dob of cream in the middle. And so, I mean, it was outrageous. Then there was all out war. There wasn't really. She sort of then shrugged away. I still don't really care whichever way, as long as I can eat it, which I suppose really is the right way round of thinking about it. As long as when you get your cream tea, you enjoy it and it tastes nice and it tastes lovely and you have a nice time with it and you have some lovely tea with it as well, then that's kind of all that matters, really. I mean, really, it does not overly matter whether the cream goes on first or the jam. Unless maybe you are from Cornwall and Devon, and then they kind of have that little tiny sort of a cream tea civil war going on down there. But yeah, there we go. I do it the Devon way, cream first, then jam. I find it makes more the cream makes a more effective base to then spread the jam out, so you have even sort of layer of cream and an even layer of jam. But some people do it differently, and do you know what? It's all fine. It's all fine. As long as you can enjoy it and have some tea, then it's all splendid. And I think that's it. I think that is it. That will answer the question for today. Nice and short. Hang on, need some tea. So yes, there we go. Now, unfortunately, I do not have any cream tea available. I don't have any scones. I don't have any clotted cream. I have no jam. But yeah, at some point when I come to have one of these again, I probably will think of this question. I'll sort of think back and go, oh yeah, somebody asked about this, and here I am enjoying a cream tea with the cream first, and then the jam second. But there we go. So I think what we'll do is we will finish things up for the moment. I will go and have my tea and we shall wrap things up. So for now, thank you very much for joining me for day 5 of the Fes-tea-ve Advent Countdown 2021, and I will see you next time. These people are eating the tables. They're just devouring the tables. They're so hungry. There's no atmosphere at all. Were you sat in the car park? Are you sure you came to the right place? Mein Knien staan in brand. If you want to order meatballs made of snails, you need to be really certain about this.